How does the same thing keep happening over and over? It's simple. Sometimes it's intentional. Dogs only eat other dogs when they are threatened or enclosed by a threat. What does that say about a dog eat dog world? Are we in danger? Also, why are dogs eating dogs? Who will advocate for them, for the one who will say something? This is not only about him. I begin with he, not to make a kingdom of men, but to hold one trembling life in view. Though there is always a him and her, a body in a locker room, a body staring at a contract like it is a doorway and not a mouth. I say him because I want you to feel the singular wound, the one heart being turned into a number. But I also mean them, every athlete, all of them. Because no tragedy this rehearsed ever happens only once, or to just one body, because what is done to one has long been practiced on many. Okay. They tell you he is being paid to play a game as though the game is what is being bought, as though a jump shot can cost $40 million, as though a body can be valued that highly without someone somewhere quietly calculating what else comes attached to it. No, he is being paid to survive the room, to survive the men in suits who speak in the languages of futures while stealing them in private, to survive the agent who calls himself family while shaving years off of a life with every signature, to survive the university that tells him his name is finally his own while feeding him an NIL deal that tastes like freedom for exactly 6 months, or more or less. A little money now, a lifetime gone later. The contract arrives smiling. The coach says, "This is opportunity." The league says, "This is destiny." The cameras say, "This is success." And somewhere beneath all of it, underneath the handshakes and draft nights, and gold chains and microphones and private jets and social media checks, there is a silence, a terrible silence. A silence so valuable that billions of dollars are spent each year protecting it. Because the secret is not that these young men are talented. The secret is that talent alone has never been enough. They do not pay you for the game. The game is only the bait. They pay you to enter the environment, to sit in the locker room, to stand in the circle, to learn very quickly what can be said and what must never be said. There are things that move through those rooms like ghosts. You can feel them in the way an older player pauses before answering, in the way a rookie laughs too hard at something that is not funny, in the way everyone knows without ever admitting they know. The association knows. It knows who you are before you know who you are. It knows what you fear, what you need, who you owe, who is sick at home, what your mother cried about, what your father never became, what you cannot afford to lose. If it must be known, it will be known. They will find it, and once they find it, they will build a palace around it. The media will help, the agents will help, the lawyers will help, the executives will help. Everyone has a role in the theater. One man becomes the cautionary tale. One man becomes the villain. One man becomes ungrateful. One man becomes difficult. One man becomes crazy. And the machine remains untouched, always untouched, because the machine has learned how to leave no fingerprints. The young are blamed first. The kids from neighborhoods where every dream already had a price tag on it. The kids who grew up learning that love could disappear overnight. The kids who were taught that survival is not noble or ugly, only necessary. They are handed more money than anyone around them has ever seen and then condemned for not knowing how to carry it through a maze built by men who have spent generations perfecting the maze. They say he should have known better, but who taught him? Who advocates for the player when everyone around him is being paid not to? Who speaks for the 19-year-old whose entire life has become an investment portfolio before he has even learned how to sit alone with himself? Who protects the boy who loved the game too much? Because those are the first ones to go. The ones who still believe basketball or sports are holy. The ones who still play like they are speaking to God. The ones who think the game belongs to them. The system cannot tolerate that kind of love. Love cannot be monetized cleanly enough. Love asks too many questions. Love remembers what the game was before the cameras arrived. So they take that love and turn it into a number, a sponsorship, a headline, a scandal, a narrative, until one day the player looks into the mirror and cannot tell where he ends and the product begins. And we watch from our couches and blame him. We blame him because it is easier than blaming the invisible, easier than admitting that there are institutions so large and polished and rehearsed that they can devour a person and emerge looking innocent. But innocence has never lived in rooms built like this. There are too many locked doors, too many whispers, too many people getting rich from what remains unsaid. In life, there is always more left unsaid than said, and perhaps that is the unbearable thing, Not that the game is broken, but that it is functioning exactly as it was designed to. The system. Because when you walk into another team's arena, you already know there is a disadvantage. The crowd is louder, the floor feels different, the calls do not go your way. The house always wins. Casinos know this, leagues know this, universities know this, agents know this. The men in the in the expensive seats know this. The house always wins. Always. And we have been playing on their home court the entire time. Not sure about this poem, but we'll see. This was never just about sports. Thank you.